Yep, Charlamagne the guy.
Andrew Schulz.
We are the Brilliant Idiots podcast, back for another week of brilliant idiotness, baby.
Yes, sir.
Hezekiah Walker. They thought they wasn't probably getting a show this week. Andrew's out here on a phenomenal press tour for the life. Who'd you do this week, man?
Breakfast Club, man. That's the one I know about.
You did Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club was fire.
You did Shay.
I did Shay. That was dope, man. I did Shay, I think, last week, actually. Was it last week or a couple weeks ago? Then it finally came out. So a bunch of these I recorded before. I did a shout out to Letty, man. I did that Brown Bag
Letty, you
morning.
did Brown Bag.
She's
you did
the
Brown
best,
Bag.
yo. They're great. They got a great crew. And I went to the WWE. That was cool as hell.
WWE was fantastic.
I ain't gonna lie. That was
wanted
incredible.
you to send that to somebody, man.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. There's a lot of no.
You just want to be petty just a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I empathize. You know, there's sometimes people might be frustrated when you're living their dreams, bro. And
exactly.
Trust me. And here's the thing: like, I'm not living your dreams. I'm living my life.
Living your life. That's
but
that's always the best reply.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing: no matter how much somebody doesn't like you, there's always a tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of other people who do.
Man,
and that's the best.
It felt good.
But I was telling shows before we started the pod. It's like, you can have a show, right? Like The Life is out. The Life was number 2 on Netflix.
Yeah, we were number 2 on Netflix, and then we were the number 1 comedy special in the world.
Yes.
And then we were top 5 in the world of all TV. So not just US, but like that shit was crazy. Like, that was insane.
So when you do that,
yeah,
and then you do all of the great press that you're doing,
yeah,
you can't expect to go online and see videos of people actually saying good things. They're not gonna do that. There's not gonna be no reaction videos that give it up and be like, man, you know what? I really enjoyed The Life. Yo, you know what? I really enjoyed him on Shay. I really enjoyed him on, Breakfast Club. They're not going to do that.
There's no money in that.
No.
There's no views in that.
No.
Get your money, yo. Get your money, man. As long as you're talking about me, we're good.
And that's all.
As long as you talk about me, I'm not talking about you, we are good.
Because the algorithm don't know the difference.
They really don't. They really do. And low key, all I got to do is bring people back to the special. And then once you watch the special, you make your decisions up right there.
Hate watch.
Hey.
Yo, people always
haters pay the same price of admission.
Howard Stern said that a long time ago. There was a study that shows people who didn't like Howard Stern watched like 3 times as much than people who actually did.
So what's don't like? Because it sounds like you really
like haters. Cat Williams said it a long time ago. Hate is just confused admiration. Ooh. It's okay. It's okay.
And you know what? Prophets let people convert.
That's right. What was your favorite one? Like, what did you learn?
Oh God!
Because you're a podcast host too.
So this is the thing. Like, I'm learning so much about I never cared to be famous. Like, I knew being famous would be a byproduct of my goals with comedy, which is to be like the greatest, right? So, but I never cared to be famous. So I never tried to learn what it was to be famous or that kind of thing. So I didn't realize how offensive you have to be with fame.
Explain.
Like, the second your name garners views, people will use your name to get views and make a living and react to your stuff or whatever like that. Like, obviously we know there's so much reaction content out right now. And there's another thing just about reaction content in general. It's it's very popular. It is what it is. It's very popular. But and then once you get to a certain amount of followers and a certain amount of success, people will use your name for those views. And that's part of being successful. You have to pay the cost of that. But my reaction to that was just I'm just gonna ignore it and keep on putting out art. Yes, but also you also gotta snipe when it's ready to snipe. And you also gotta take exact shots. And you don't have to talk about the people. You could sub the people so you're not actually saying their name.
Subs are so good.
Oh, and then hit those.
There was a time I didn't used to like subs, but subs are so good.
It's almost better. Because then they come screaming, and you're like, what are you talking about?
The subs I like is when you're not even subbing a person, but the person, and by the way, they should do that. If I was a person who had a podcast about podcasts, or I was a person who did reaction videos, even if I wasn't subbing that person directly, I would take the clip and say that person's talking about me.
Oh, and they will.
Why not?
100%.
It don't hurt.
100%.
Because the 3,000 people that watch those individuals will be like, yo.
For that specific reason, that's another reason why, like, I don't want to make it about the Kendrick thing, but like, I didn't respond to the Kendrick thing for 2 weeks until I got confirmation. Because before I'm like, I'm not going to go say response. I don't even know if it's about me. Then once I get some confirmation, I go, okay, whatever. We feel a little bit more confident.
Bro, you're promoting a special. It's okay.
Exactly.
We don't got to fucking make. Why are we complicating this? Somebody said that to me the other day. They were talking about we were talking about Stephen A. Smith, and they were saying how Stephen A. Smith is going on this press tour for LeBron, and they was like, Andrew's still talking about Kendrick, whatever. I'm like, why not?
Well, they're asking me.
And that's what I said. I was like, yo, when Stephen A's going on these platforms, they're asking him. When Andrew's going on these platforms, they're asking Andrew. But why wouldn't you?
So here's the thing.
And by the way, you're talking about two of the greatest goats of all time in their field.
Right, of
course. You got LeBron in the NBA.
Kendrick.
Why wouldn't Stephen A talk 100%. About it? You got Kendrick in rap. Why wouldn't people ask you about it? Why wouldn't you talk about it?
Every single person can ask me 100%. Okay, so what I was saying about like being offensive, right? So knowing when you got to like take shots at certain people and like squash certain narratives. And me, for the most part, I kind of just ignored it. I was like, I'm just going to keep on putting out great shit and think that's what it is. That only works for your core fans. The casuals really only consume the hate.
They only know you from that. Somebody might only know you from that.
They only know you for the hate. So you almost have empathy for their perspective on you because all they know is a headline and like a line that you say out of context, right? And I'm that way with people. That's how I think of Meghan Markle. Meghan Markle could be the nicest woman on the planet. I only know a headline and something she says out of context, and I'm like, what a raging bruh.
Jesus Christ.
See, I don't know.
That's why. That's why they don't like you.
No, I'm calling myself out. I'm calling myself out.
They're going to take the clip. And all you're going to hear is Andrew Schulz calls Meghan Markle a raging B-word.
Damn, bro.
God damn.
What the hell is wrong with me?
I understand what you're trying to explain, but shit.
So, and then here's another thing I realized, right? So it's like, I brought all these like I try to bring all these different people on my podcast, right? And I'm like, one, because I'm really curious about different people and I want other perspectives. And then there's another part of it, where it's like, I want people to know that about me, that I am curious in all these different perspectives, right? Casuals don't listen to your pod.
No.
They only consume what hits their airwaves. So I realized when I was going to all these different pods, like the best conversations are the ones where that person thinks I am one way, and then we get to discuss it. Because what you think of me, if you're just like reading headlines and that kind of stuff, you find out is quite different once we sit down and have a conversation.
And then they get mad because they like you. Then they get mad because they feel like they actually understand you. But what you said about...
that's the difference, sorry to cut you, between like for example, when Shannon's putting out clips on the internet, it's the casuals that already think a way about me or attach themselves to the clip. And then you look at the episode and the reactions are completely different because it's people actually listening to the conversation and getting this like holistic view. So now I realize like I got to go out there and I got to do more of these pods. I got to do other people's stuff. But I'm the last year, I'm like, I'm busy. I'm touring. I'm doing pods, and I'm a dad. So where's this time?
That is a very interesting perspective. I feel like, personally, and I could be wrong about this, I don't feel like you should go on any of the runs unless you're actually promoting something. But the reality is we're always promoting something. Like, if we wanted to, we could go out and promote Brilliant Idiots all day. You could promote Flagrant all day. Like, you know, I'm on Breakfast Club every morning. We could. I got books. The books are always out, you know. Audible originals are always out. You got specials out. You could always promote shit if you wanted to.
But I also feel like you did that early in your career. Like you would go on Fox on Kennedy's show. Like you would go on, but you'd also do Daily Show. You do these different things and you put yourself in these different spaces. And then those people were forced to consume you at home. Not at an away game. When they come to watch our pod, that's an away game for them. But when you go to their favorite podcaster, that's going into their home. So it's very hard when you're in someone's home and you're willing to talk about whatever. Because that's what I say to every person I had an interview with. I go, ask me whatever you want to ask me.
Get it out. It's interesting, right? That's why I've always, even with Brilliant Idiots, remember, I used to always say, like, this is for the people who listen. This is for our Brilliant Idiots collective. But goddamn, this shit done leaked out to the world.
I said that. I was doing an interview with Will Kane at Fox News today.
Kane.
And I told him, and I said something to the Fox News people. I was like, listen, whatever one of you is assigned to the Brilliant Idiots podcast.
Thank you.
You're doing a fantastic job. But low-key, to Will's credit, he said that he was like, I think you guys are the most important show in politics right now.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm like, what's it called again? But he's like, paraphrasing it, but he's essentially like, you guys are friends that are having good faith conversations about political issues instead of two different teams that are trying to win.
Dunk on each other.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's right though.
That's true. Somebody at MSNBC told me that. I'm not going to say her name because I don't know if she wants to be put out there like that. But she said the same thing.
Who?
I don't want to say it, but I think I sent it to you. I sent you the. I think I told you about it. Yeah, she said the same thing for that exact same reason. Yeah. And listen, I don't know if that's true or not. You know, I enjoy doing anything. I go to Breakfast Club every day. You know why? Because I enjoy doing that. Because whatever's happening in that room is a good faith conversation.
That shit was fun, bro.
I love doing Brilliant Idiots because whatever's happening here is a good faith conversation. Yeah. Like, these are people that I talk to all the time. Me, Schulz, Chris, Taylor. Like, that's actually what gets you in trouble.
Bro, what is?
When you're just too comfortable.
Yeah.
It's the best entertainment.
Because you start getting loose and you stop being protective of what you say. And then once you're really being loose, what you say can be, set out of context. But in retrospect, like, I'm thinking about all these things, like when Ryan Clark put out that 10-minute soliloquy on me.
You gotta go on the pivot, Joe.
No, that's immediately. I'm like, I should have immediately been like, all right, let's discuss it.
Let's go on the pivot.
You have a lot of opinions on me. Why don't we have a conversation about those opinions? Yeah. Like, I should go.
Did they reach out?
You know what's funny is I think Shahidi is involved in it, and
who the fuck is that?
I think he's the guy who runs Nelk and he runs a few other pods. So he was asking me way early on, but since then, no, they haven't. But absolutely.
Only reason I said that because I've heard you mention him. I heard you mentioned him on Breakfast Club. You mentioned him on Shay.
Yeah.
I think
I want to go. I think
you and Ryan would have a fantastic conversation.
It's the same thing that we do with every one of these people. It's like, of course, we're going to have a good conversation because I'm not there to make you look stupid. I'm going to listen to what you have to say. Like, I'm going to give you, when you make good points, I'm never going to discredit the good point that you make.
The Pivot is one of my favorite podcasts. That is a place, we got to start saying that more. That is a place where good faith conversations happen.
There we go.
There's not a lot of platforms nowadays that are having good faith conversations. People are either doing things for ratings or they're setting, this conflict shit up for views and likes and things. Who's having good faith conversations? We should start talking about those platforms more.
100%.
The Pivot with, Channing and Fred and Ryan, they always have good faith conversations, which is why a lot of men go in there and be so vulnerable.
Because they feel safe.
Yes.
I like that. And that's the other thing, which I guess I should have been more forthcoming with it. I guess there's this part of me that's like, I'm like, if you want to talk about me in this situation, just message me, call me. You can get in touch with me through you. It's so easy to get in contact with me. So when there isn't that effort to get in contact with me, I'm like, oh, you guys are just going after clout. Because you could talk to me and I would come on your pod and I would talk to you. There's not a person I won't sit down and talk to.
Yeah.
If they've built something. If you're just a random person with a fucking TikTok account, just bickering, you haven't built something to justify the conversation. If you're someone who's built something, I admire that. If you're putting things out every single week and you're willing to be judged by the world, I admire that.
It's noticeable. I mean, listen, here's the thing. You're only going to talk about somebody you respect. I'm not going to let your name come out of my mouth if I don't respect you.
I said that. I said that on Shannon. I think that they're really good.
Yeah.
I compliment it. I said this about Kendrick too. I admire people who put out art to be judged. That's a vulnerable, scary thing to do.
Yeah.
I admire that. Do I disagree on certain things? Yeah. But I still admire, if you're a reaction channel, most of you have never put out something to be judged. You don't know what it's like to work really hard on something, give it out there to the world for them to hate it or love it. That's a vulnerable, scary thing. You just hate things.
I was thinking about that the other day. Me and Ak was having a conversation, and I was thinking about why don't I respect the reaction channels anymore? I used to enjoy them for entertainment, and that was what the reason was.
There's no vulnerability in it.
Not only is there no vulnerability in it, you know why we love First Take? You know why we love we'll watch Fox Sports because they'll have people on there who've actually either played the game or been so involved in the game that you respect what they're saying. It's a reason that a podcast like the R&B Money podcast with Tank and Jay Valentine works. Yeah, because Tank was an R&B star. Jay Valentine's a producer or writer. They've had actual success. So when they talk about the game in the industry, you listen. And that's why when they, the L.A. Reid, Smokey Robinson's go on there and have conversations, it's a different vulnerability they have with those guys because they respect them and what they've done. The reason, like, you know, you watch some of these reaction channels or you know, watch some of these podcasts about podcasts, you like, you don't even know what you're talking about. And you haven't even had the success of any of the people that you're talking about.
And you haven't even felt the judgment when you do put yourself out there. Like, it's a very comfortable, like, low-risk position to just shit on things. It is the lowest risk.
It's low risk, high reward.
Oh, yeah.
If it hits, it hits.
That's why everybody does it. It's the easiest form of content. I'm going to sit down and people are going to try hard on things and I'm going to shit on them when they fail. And I'll never congratulate them when they succeed.
No.
Because there's no money in it.
You should thank us. When y'all succeed, you should literally at least twice a year say, thank you.
You're welcome.
To everybody that you're talking about.
Yeah, 100%.
To me. But, it was enjoyable, man. One thing I enjoyed about the Club Shay interview, man, I don't know if Shannon even caught 95% of the jokes that you was shooting at. I think he caught the Lululemon yoga joke. Yeah. But my favorite part, I had to rewind it to make sure I heard what the fuck I heard because I still don't know what happened in this moment.
Okay.
And we can add it later, but Shannon is talking to you about, was it black men dating white women? What was it?
I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe?
I think it was about black men dating white women, and you were like, why are you mad that my friends are true or something like that?
I don't know. I was saying, when I was joking about how like black men get intimidated when they see a white man with a black woman. They're like, I don't know if I could get behind that. Yeah. Yeah. I
don't remember what it was. I just remember you flipped it on me, you go, what about you, man? You go, and you start doing that shit, you rubbing your hands. What about you, man? Do you only exclusively date white women? I don't know what Shannon thought you said, or he just didn't give a fuck. Shannon goes, I go, I'm celebrated, not tolerated. I said, shit.
But no, Charlamagne keeps it true.
Charlamagne. Y'all got a pod together.
That's what I'm saying. So it's what about you, man? You date exclusively white women or what?
Look, I go where I'm celebrated, not tolerated.
And?
I like who like me.
Yeah. You dress like a white woman.
Holy fucking shit.
Unc, you must have misheard me.
I was like, did he mishear you? Or he was like, nah, man, fuck that.
Nah,
fuck what Dr. Lamar talking about. Okay. I'm like, what the fuck? That shit was, but he said it since he looked, I go, I'm celebrating, not tolerated. And I was like, holy shit, because I like the honesty. I know you might catch smoke for that, but I'm like, if that's how you feel, Shannon, that's how you fucking feel. Right. And you didn't double down on it. You just let it go.
I did? Maybe I didn't even realize what he said.
I got to go back and watch the clip.
I think there are some things that were like maybe a little bit edited in there. So I saw some things that were kind of like thrown in.
Like jump cuts?
Also like some, after we finished recording, there was like some questions they asked. They're like, we need to get these as well.
Also too, man, do we need 2.5 hour podcast? Do we need 3 hour podcasts? I'm asking. I really don't know. Do we need 3 hour? I love all of the guys that do long form content.
Yeah.
I don't want to take 3 days to get through the pod, bro.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I think people are at work for a long time, bro.
3 hours?
I think people work for like 9 hours.
God damn.
Every day.
I treat podcasts the way I treat books.
Yeah.
I want to get through it.
Yeah.
So 3 hours, bro.
It seems like a lot.
God damn, man. Give me an hour.
Yeah.
I listen to the Weekly Show podcast with Jon Stewart every week. It's like an hour 15.
Honestly, I think an hour, I mean, we are talking all this shit while we do 2.5 hour podcasts, but I do agree with you that 1 hour number seems like pretty lovely.
Yes.
Yeah.
60 minutes.
Yeah.
In and out.
Yeah.
3.5 is crazy. Let's get to what we need to get to.
You might be right.
God
Maybe
damn.
it changes. And also maybe it's better because there's so many more pods. So now you get to digest. You get to digest more of them fully.
Yeah.
What
do you think, Chris? As the pod father, what is the benefit of doing 3 hour podcast?
You don't have to do much editing and prep. You can just let it flow. I think an hour is a little light. Okay. I think if I looked at an hour, I'd feel like, unless it was a very tightly controlled conversation, you're not really in it.
Yeah.
90 minutes?
90 minutes is great. 12 years ago when the podcast first started, what were the lengths of, like, what was Combat Jack?
Combat Jack was out of control. We were doing 2.5, 3 hours.
But there was a bunch of people in there. So that was
and then we didn't think anybody was listening, so what did it matter?
What about the read?
Tighter, 90, 120.
I wonder what our original ones were.
Same.
Same?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for the podcast world, man.
Yeah, shout out to y'all.
Where would we be without it?
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Look, we know that for decades, food companies have been putting all kinds of processed bullshit, unhealthy ingredients in our food, and it's probably been harming our health and making us fatter. Well, one law firm is finally holding them accountable. Morgan & Morgan has just filed a first-of-its-kind lawsuit against the food industry behemoths like Kraft, Heinz Company, General Mills, Coca-Cola, and others, alleging that these companies engineer their ultra-processed foods to be addictive and market those products towards children, causing chronic disease in children. Okay, as someone who just had a kid, it is something that my wife is like absolutely terrified about is feeding our daughter these foods that could be horrible for her, that could, impede growth, development, obviously get her too hooked on sugar, then she's addicted to it. It's terrifying. The complaint details the strategic and calculated actions that these companies allegedly took to target children with addicted ultra-processed foods, including internal memos, strategic meetings, and the extensive research they allegedly conducted to leverage our biology and neurology to create addictive substances. Telling you it's a huge concern, okay? It's actually a noble thing that Morgan & Morgan is doing. They are committed to fighting for the people and for the families. If your child has been diagnosed with one of these diseases, you may have legal options. They've helped thousands of families seek justice against big corporations, and they're ready to fight for you too. Learn more at forthepeople.com/idiots. That is forthepeople.com/idiots. Okay.
Let's do some all means necessary. What we got, man? R. Kelly Residual Challenge. What is this? Oh, man, he did this shit from jail. You heard this shit?
Nah.
Yo? This shit got motherfuckers feeling guilty to say they like it, bro. I'm not even going to say shit. Just press play, yo.
Kelly. This call will be recorded and subject to monitoring at any time. To accept this call, press 5. You may begin speaking now.
I got 2 minutes. Let's go. First, I want to thank my fans for being a realist. Now let's get down to business on this breezy remix.
Head bopping, bro.
To make this phone call just to let you know you ain't shit. It's questions on my mind. It's questions on my mind. It's still selling my music, making all this money. Don't even send shit to my books for Palm and Cherry, no. Though I'm in this place, I know I don't deserve it. No. It's questions on my mind. It's questions on my mind. Did I build you up? Build you up? When I put you all? Those how you not gonna show me love?
I can't listen to any more of this.
Why?
He's about to be innocent, bro. If I listen to 20 more seconds of that, he's innocent.
Man, cut it out, man.
Music is crazy, bro. Music is absolutely terrifying.
Listen.
How effective music is. If I listen to another 15 to 20
Cut it out,
seconds of
man.
that, it's free R.
Because you
Kelly,
want to
bro.
listen to him guilt-free.
Thank you.
You want to listen to him without having to think about that other shit, yo.
Yeah.
But that's always been the problem with R. Kelly.
Yeah.
Because, no, listen. Because the music is about what he did.
Uh-huh.
You understand what I'm saying?
I didn't even put that
Like, I can watch Cosby Show. Cosby Show ain't about what he did.
But this is about what he did.
God damn, bro.
What about the Free Willy song?
Huh?
Oh, no, that was Michael Jackson.
What? This is,
I believe I could fly.
but full disclosure, I've always respected.
I believe I could touch the sky.
No, that wasn't Free Willy. That was fucking Space Jam.
Yeah, but that could have worked.
For Free Willy?
Yeah.
That song could work with anything,
Yo.
bro. God damn.
What else could it work?
I've never been a huge R. Kelly fan. I've always respected the talent.
You know they play that for gays in Saudi Arabia. Before
Man,
they
shut the fuck
before
up,
they
man.
send them off the building, bro.
Shut the fuck
That's
up.
when they start playing
Shut
it.
the fuck
They come up to your apartment. Nyla's here.
Big Nyla, give me another by any means necessary, man. He don't need to do all that. I'm like, what? He don't need to do all that. Who that? Bow Wow? God damn, Taylor pregnant. She don't give a fuck. Taylor not here today, but she's why? What the fuck? Why would we want to talk about this? What am I missing here?
He cried or something? I don't see the video. But
Bow Wow, I don't have a problem with Bow Wow crying. Bow Wow about to be 40, man. Sometimes those are tears of joy. You 40 years old and you on that stage doing the Millennium Tour again.
Still.
You know what I'm saying? You still got records that are still selling out arenas.
Nah, you gotta be grateful.
And you've been doing this shit since you was 5.
You gotta be grateful. You gotta be grateful.
Y'all keep playing with Bow Wow. Hey, Bow Wow's a fucking legend.
Legend.
Bro. Bow Wow is an icon living, bro.
That's
Nyla's Jay-Z. You said that to me before.
I've never said that.
You definitely said that to me before. You told me that was your Jay-Z.
So why is he your Jay-Z? What is it about?
I literally have never called him my
You
Jay-Z.
definitely said something like that.
No,
to me
I did
before.
not. That was my childhood crush.
Oh.
There's a difference.
Oh, so that was your Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah.
Oh. But Bow Wow, that guy, Bow Wow been doing this shit since he was... I remember seeing Bow Wow on the Arsenio Hall show, rapping with Snoop. And all of these years later, you still on tour. I cried fucking too.
Bro, to be in entertainment for 30 years?
Longer for him, right? 30 plus.
30 plus years. That's an unbelievable accomplishment.
Era after era.
This game likes new. And it likes new a lot.
I don't know, you know.
Say again?
I keep thinking about that too. That's another thing I've been thinking about. Does this game really like new? I think this game likes new depending on what the new is. I don't think this game put it like this. When I think new, I think of Doechii, I think of Kai Cenat, but those are people that we can look at and see are going to be around for a long time.
Oh, it loves greatness.
I don't think it loves everything.
No.
new.
The game rewards greatness, but your eyes look for the new shiny thing constantly. And then that's why you see a lot of things pop up, and then a few months later, they go away.
So do we really like new, or are we just curious about new?
This game is very curious about new.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't respect old.
Well, I think they like new things to happen to old.
Sorry, that?
They love old as long as new things are happening to old.
Yes, you have to reinvent yourself.
Right.
The Beatles putting out a song, an album where they're using instruments from India. You got to change them up. You got to keep people on their fucking toes.
I think nostalgia's back more than ever.
Ooh.
They wearing baggy clothes, they retro and everything.
That's just cyclical. It always comes back around with fashion.
And think about the art. Most everybody they like in media.
Yeah.
Most everybody they like in music. Well, I'll keep it to media. It's like these are 40, 50-year-olds.
Well, we're the coolest.
Joe Rogan's almost 60.
We're the coolest generation, bro. That's the thing.
The older people, right?
Yeah, us old
Yes.
people. We're the coolest people that have ever existed in the history of time.
The youngest person in the room is shaking their head.
But she dressed like us in the 90s.
Exactly.
So how you gonna sit there? How you gonna sit there
With a black effect varsity on?
With a black effect varsity,
old nigga created
Nike
that brand.
Dunks, cargo pants from Old Navy.
You know what
You
I'm
got
saying?
literally
You're not from
Charlamagne
Old
in my
Navy.
outfit.
What the fuck?
Eating a fucking slice of pizza.
A
You know how
slice.
old school New York that is?
Yeah, y'all don't even have slices.
Ninja
you gotta
Turtles
buy a
was
whole
doing that
pie.
before you was
All
born.
right.
Ninja
Damn.
Turtles was eating pizza
Y'all
before you
not
was
the
born.
coolest
She got
Y'all not the coolest niggas. Y'all just got all
First of
the
all,
skin.
I'm
got
the
the air.
coolest nigga. That's the coolest cracker.
I'm the coolest cracker. She got the AirPods with the wires on it. Look how
okay.
old school she want to be. You want to be us so
You see
bad.
what I'm saying? You
So
see what I'm saying?
Yo,
bad.
this is not that old.
Yeah.
I don't be wanting to charge the headphones, but no, I think nostalgia. I think people are attracted to finding gems in old school music.
Because it's great.
Because we're the greatest generation that's ever lived. It's not a question
It's
whether
not
we
even
are.
just your what you grew up on. It even sounds older than that.
Nah.
Yes, Big X the Plug, he does all these 70s samples. 70 samples are a thing now. People are doing
A
vinyl
thing now?
parties. Well, I'm saying
It's been a thing forever.
No, I'm saying the thing as in it's popular. To your point of saying
We
that
sampled the 70s, and you guys are sampling us sampling the 70s.
we're not sampling y'all sample the 70s. We actually sampling the 70s.
Nah, you don't even know what the 70s
No,
are.
that's not true. I think that Big X the Plug is probably sampling something he heard from the 90s that sampled something from the 70s.
Name
He's
one.
done both.
Name 1 year in the 70s.
Name 1 year in the 70s. 1972.
All right, good. You got it.
Nostalgia's the shit.
Nostalgia is the shit. You don't even gotta bring it back in a cool way.
When Khaled was popping on Snapchat, he was 40 plus. You know what I'm saying? like the nostalgia. People like you know why also too? I think because older people know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? For the most part. We've been around long enough to know how to do this.
Y'all been marinated long enough that it's time to cook.
we've been cooking long enough that we know how to cook.
Well seasoned.
Y'all are the ones that are marinating.
Well seasoned. Yeah, cool. That works.
I think you just want authentic shit, and you guys live in a generation with very little authenticity. Every picture is photoshopped.
Damn.
You know, every video is manipulated. You don't know what's real, and then you look back at our shit, and you're like, oh wow, back in the '90s, things were real. Those pictures, that's what they look like. Those outfits, that's how they dress. So there's not like makeup and shit that's making us look crazy and different, and there's no catfishing in the '90s. You get what you get.
And y'all took out the best seasoning, but it's coming back now.
Which is?
Toxicity.
Oh,
Probably.
God. That didn't go nowhere. What are you talking about?
No, that did go
That didn't go. It's all in our R&B. It went from being in our rap to now being in our R&B.
But see, here's the thing. To your point, I agree with you, but I think that nowadays it's more manufactured. We didn't know we were being toxic and problematic. I think now there's some people who purposely are trying to be are toxic and problematic, or they'll, they're trying to push the envelope. We weren't doing that. We were just being.
So why would we want to bring that shit back?
I don't know.
You just said, y'all missing the toxic.
No, it's good when it's done right, when it's actually authentic.
That shit is trauma.
No, you laugh.
We laugh.
Yeah, you laugh at some traumatic shit.
I do not. No, niggas need therapy. That's why it's not pulling on
that's
R&B.
problematic.
Yeah.
It's nothing but white people in here, and you just keep throwing around the N-word.
Chris just left.
God, Chris left because he was offended.
Chris just walked out. He's like, I can't be around this
Chris
shit
was
no
like,
more.
yeah, you came in here and dropped 17 N-words in 5 seconds.
No, that was crazy.
I'm done. I'm
that
sorry.
was
I'm
crazy.
gonna eat my pizza.
Why do you think they need therapy? Because they're being spoken about like that.
No, well, all of y'all need therapy.
God damn.
That's true. You know that we are therapized individuals. We're taking therapy all the time. We're learning about ourselves. We're bettering ourselves.
That's
yeah,
right.
but that's because y'all well done. Y'all been cooking. Y'all already been seasoned.
I like that.
Marinated. Now
So
y'all
we are the way we are. We don't got to change.
No. Evolution could definitely be done on both of y'all behalves, but that's a conversation for another day.
I like my steaks medium well. Listen, we're always constantly growing. I'm not going to sit here and act like we're not. We're constantly growing, and things will change you. Like, I got 4 daughters, and they all range in ages, and, you go through different things. Like, my oldest is going to junior prom tonight.
Oof.
No.
Tonight.
Oof.
Whoa.
Tonight. You know what I'm saying?
What's the rules?
I got the driver, you know what I'm saying? But I had a whole conversation. I'm just having a conversation with her just about, life. And
What's the rules, though?
Is the driver going to and from? Is there an after party?
Yeah, do they?
No,
yeah.
she don't want to go to the after party because she's responsible, and she got cheerleading competition tomorrow, and we got to meet 5 in the morning. So she don't want to go to the after
me and
party.
Schulz are like,
They don't even call it the after party. They call it after prom. Huh. She don't even want to go to that party. She's coming back because we leave at 5 in the morning. I'll tell you some funny shit, though. We might have to edit
Charlamagne
it.
is that dad, by the way. He's that dad who is just not.
I'll tell you some funny shit. This is what I learned. I'm like, so who you going with, right? And it's like, if you don't have a boyfriend or you don't have a girlfriend, it's just groups of kids that go together.
Hell no.
Right? So like a group of girls go with a group of guys, right? But what I found out was her original prom date had to leave the country.
What?
Illegal?
His family. And so they...
I feel like we shouldn't be talking about this. Leave her alone.
No, this is... Hold on.
Stop.
Hold on.
Stop.
Okay,
This
I'll tell you
is-
afterwards then.
No.
Yo, he's
Charlamagne might be the most protective father in history. You called ICE on your daughter. Yo.
that's
I had to
mess.
do, man. You know, ICE asked me to go on a ride along.
And?
Shut up.
They did.
Shut up.
I promise you. They
And?
asked me to go on 2 ride-alongs.
Sounds like you went.
No.
Yeah, he was
But
like,
I
yo,
do- but I'm
make a
gonna be
left here. I got you.
I do want to go. The reason I want to go is because I want to see what the process is like. I want to see what's happening because of stories like the one I just said that we might probably got to edit out. But because of stories like that, I want to see, well, how are y'all making these decisions on who goes and why? Like we were having a discussion about it on Breakfast Club this week, and I'm like, look, if they're illegal immigrants who committed a crime, they got to go. It's not a question, right? Yeah. But what if they're just illegal immigrants? If they're just illegal immigrants, is there a process? Do they gotta leave?
I think there should be a process of citizenship. If they're not committing crimes, they haven't been arrested for anything, and they can prove that they have stable work, I think that there should be a pathway to like a green card or a pathway to a visa. I think that, I mean, yeah, we spoke about this before. That's what I asked Trump. I was like, I want that.
That's all I'm saying. That's all. Literally, that's all it was. I'm wondering about that, and that's why I want to go on the ride along with ICE, just to see who's getting picked up and why.
Yeah.
If you're picking up illegal immigrants that's committing crimes, I ain't got no qualms with you. And you know what else I wanted to do? I wanted to see how past administrations did it, because nobody deported more people than President Obama.
Yeah, so how was he getting them out of here?
That's what and who was he getting out of here?
Yeah, and why the fuck did he let one of them date your daughter for a few years?
Shut the fuck up.
You know what I mean? That's supposed to be your boy.
They were
That's
not
supposed to be your boy.
How you know they
And you
wasn't
didn't get a
dating?
phone
And
call,
why you
nothing?
think they wasn't dating?
They wasn't dating.
What do you mean they weren't dating?
She'd have told me if they were dating. They wasn't dating.
Shit.
So that was
My
one of
wife,
the-
my wife would have told me they wasn't dating.
Oh, shit.
They wasn't dating. They not even dating. Like,
shit.
oh, they not. They not. Well, guess what? If they were, sayonara.
It's adios.
Adios, whatever the fuck it was. Okay, whatever the fuck. All right, get the fuck out of here. But no, that's just the dad in me. I know that's
Being a
fucked
dad
up.
is the best, man.
We're
We're not mature enough to have these
I'm
conversations.
not mature enough to be a dad.
That's facts.
I'm really not mature enough to be a
You call
dad.
ice on your daughter's boyfriend, man. That's insane.
She don't have a boyfriend. It's not a boyfriend.
Well, it's not anymore. So now what's going on with your daughter?
They all went to prom. She went
so
with
they
another
still
group.
go with a group.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just, the group's missing somebody.
I want to see the dress. Sorry.
I haven't seen the dress either.
Yo, dads are the worst. Go ahead.
I asked the question.
You ain't seen the dress. You
No,
got rid of the
I had to do the
boyfriend.
pod.
You damn near ruined the night.
I had to do the pod. So I asked my wife, I said, yo, do I gotta be here for any of this? No, I did. And she's like, yo, it's the junior prom. It ain't like the senior prom.
Oh, this is
all
true.
right, cool.
This is true.
Yeah,
This is
I'll see her
true.
when she come home. I guess. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like,
All right.
you know?
And if she doesn't have a guy who she's going with, and there's a little bit, because you don't have to, intimidate him or anything like that.
The other thing too, man, being a pops, man, it's like, it's certain shit you think you ready to do that you're not ready to do. Like my daughter takes driver's lessons. She got her permit now. She's gonna go out for her license in the summer. I tried riding with her one time. The way my anxiety set up, like, no,
not happening.
Nah, bro. Like the wife goes out with her, shows her how to drive.
So you got woman on woman driving? God damn.
I said, look, like ice, I'll ride along with y'all. I'll sit in the back seat. I want to see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I'll sit in the back seat. You drive. Let your mom be in the passenger seat. I'll see what's going on. I can't do this with just me and you, yo. And my daughter knows me. She told me yesterday, she was like, I don't even want to drive with you because I know how you get. Cool. You know what I'm saying? That's the best we're going to be able to do. I don't know how to. I'm a dad.
Yeah.
But I want to have a relationship with my daughters almost on some friendship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I want you to trust me, know my faults. I know yours, know my strengths, know what I'm into, know what I'm not into.
Yeah.
If you know that I'm not going to be comfortable riding with you in the passenger seat, don't even put me in that position.
I think that makes a lot of sense.
You know what I'm saying?
We're going to get into a fight.
We're not going to get into a fight. I don't want to be pussy in front of you.
What do you mean?
I hate roller coasters.
Oh.
Can't stand roller coasters. But I tucked in my roller coaster fear because my daughters like roller coasters.
Right.
But why should I have to do that?
Yeah.
Who says I can't set up boundaries with my daughters? If this not what I'm into, this not what I'm into.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing with her driving. Let your mama go out there and do all of that.
So wait, you would actually be afraid being in the car with your wife and daughter?
What?
Wait.
You too, Chris?
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Stop. Andrew, I want to invite you.
Because they're women.
No.
Because they're women,
Listen,
Chris.
listen.
What did you think
Listen.
They're
I know what you're saying.
ladies.
They're
ladies.
I want to invite you
Yeah.
to the great country of Taiwan.
Yes.
You will see the most immaculate driving, the most beautiful driving.
Google the car accident rate in Taiwan, right? Fucking
They
down, man.
stop on a dime. You can walk out in the middle of the street. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I want to change your
No, I think Asians are amazing at driving.
First of all, can we let the listeners know something? Chris is not Asian. Listen, here's the thing. We've been doing Brilliant Idiots for 12 years now. Some people are new to the podcast.
Yo, hold on. In 2023, Taiwan saw nearly 7,000 deaths from accidents and adverse effects with motor vehicle accidents, accounting for roughly half of all accident-related deaths in people over 15 years old.
I meant Japan. Did I say Taiwan?
7,000 is light.
No.
America got way more than 7,000.
Yeah, you got way more people.
Really?
Than Taiwan?
Oh, Taiwan.
Yeah, not China.
I know. You always automatically just think
about Taipei is great. I don't know about the rest of Taiwan. You go to Taipei.
It's all good, bro. We can't be good at everything. They're good at making chips.
You know, people think Chris is a DEI hire.
He is.
How did y'all get that Asian off the podcast?
He's our Asian Jew. He is our Asian Jew.
That's a good combination, though, Chris.
What, Asian and Jew?
Asian Jew?
Taking over the world, baby.
Say what? You started it.
Wow.
Don't start it now. Wow. Don't you start it, Chris. Wow. You say something like that, the internet goes wild.
Wow. Eggs you young. You don't want that? Is that what you want? Is that what you want, Chris? Jesus Christ.
Speaking of eating healthy, if you're ready to optimize your nutrition this year, Factor has your back. Factor has chef-made gourmet meals that make eating well easy, okay? They're dietitian approved and ready to heat and eat in 2 minutes so you can fuel right and feel great, okay? No matter what life throws at you. Obviously, if you have a busy schedule, you're working long hours, unpredictable hours, it's hard to make sure you get that good meal. Sometimes you end up getting takeout and it's absolutely trash. It's bad for you. You feel bad. You look bad. Everything's horrible. But Factor arrives fresh and fully prepared, perfect for any active, busy lifestyle. You can lose up to 8 pounds in 8 weeks with Factor Keto meals. Based on a randomized controlled clinical trial with Factor Keto, results will vary depending on diet and exercise, obviously. But with 40 options across 8 dietary preferences on the menu each week, it's easy to pick meals tailored to your goals. Choose from preferences like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, or Keto. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfast, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. Reach your goals this year with ingredients you can trust and convenience that can't be beat, okay? I'm telling you right now, this is how you can get your health back. It is incredibly important to get your health back. The things that you eat are going to fuel your body. If you're feeling lethargic, exhausted all day long, maybe it's because you're not eating stuff that your body needs. Not giving your body the fuel that it needs to do the tasks that you have to accomplish every single day, okay? So, eat smart with Factor. Get started at factormeals.com/factorpodcast and use the code factorpodcast to get 50% off your first box plus free shippings. That's the code factorpodcast at factormeals.com/factorpodcast to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box now.
Straight man is a red flag. Let's play that one. What is that?
What's my
Doechii?
biggest dating red flag?
Is it being on the DL?
You're on the right track. I have my answer.
Is it close enough?
Are you want to guess one more time what would be a red flag for me?
Bad music taste?
Oh, that is a good one.
Because that's one for me.
That is a good one.
Like,
but that's
what
not
do you
what
mean
I put.
you don't listen to Michael Jackson? But okay.
Okay. This is a huge red flag for me.
All right. You know what's so crazy? I was gonna say men.
I mean, strike one. You're a man.
Yeah.
And you're heterosexual.
Yeah. I was gonna say, so technically, because my mind was already there, I don't think I deserve to eat a wing.
I think you do.
Okay, so basically, Doechii was doing hot ones, and she revealed being a straight man is the biggest red flag for her. First of all, I think people don't understand sarcasm and humor no more, bro.
Yeah, she's clearly joking.
That's what I thought. Like when I
don't think she's coming out of the closet. She's just trying to say.
She's talked about one of her biggest hits is "The Dial Is a River," and she talks about in that song how she used to date a man who she found out was on the down low. But she dates and she's queer herself.
Oh, what is she?
Queer. I don't. Now, what does that mean for y'all generation?
Yo,
I don't fucking know.
I don't know.
You know what she does that's really.
That's your 19th nigger.
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
I said, I don't know.
No, you don't even know you're saying it. My God, you're so racist that you don't even know you're saying it.
But did you
That's the German in you, yo.
Chris, can I?
You know she's German.
Yeah, now I know, 100%.
Anyways.
Listen, Chris, can you tell me your thoughts on this? And I need your people's feedback here. I noticed that Doechii wears these things that like they're like these straps that go on her eyes, right? And it's funny because when I do it, it's really racist. But
it was the serious tone
problem
that,
when I do it.
yeah, but I actually feel uncomfortable doing. But they do essentially make the eyes look like they're a little.
I know you don't have to do it. You don't have to pull anything.
I'm not going to pull it back,
but we get what you're saying.
Chris, can you tell me how your community feels about that?
White Jews,
Sorry?
Irish Jews, how do we feel about it?
Yeah.
You're really distancing yourself from China nowadays.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
This is crazy.
Yeah, why are you acting
Why
like
don't
you're
you
not
guys just
Asian?
invite an actual Asian on the show, and then you can ask all the questions at the same time and hear from.
You're a fucking Asian. Stop praying. Like
We've had Asians on before.
Yeah, we had.
We had Aquafina on. We had
True.
Eddie Hong,
China Mac.
China
Mac.
Mac. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good episode.
And then we have you every single week. So just can I just get and it might be this might be
Well,
like,
that was a real thing historically in Hollywood where they wouldn't cast Asian actors. They would cast white actors and actually use tape to pull their eyes back. I believe The Good Earth was a famous example of that famous movie in the 30s. So,
yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Now I understand the aesthetic, right? You get this like this shape to your eye that a lot of women use makeup to do.
Yeah,
where I think that it's called like a cat eye.
I didn't even realize Doechii was doing that. I thought that was makeup this whole time.
No, I think that she has the things, and I don't think I think you know who else does it? Charlie XCX. I think she does it. Like I think it's called like taping or something that women do. I'm just curious how the Asian community feels about it.
I'll check in.
Fuck.
Say again?
They don't give a fuck. Asians be out here living their life. Like Asians don't give a fuck.
Shout out
They
Asians,
don't get. They too
Shout
busy
out Asians,
working.
man.
Yeah, Asians living their life. They building shit, buying up the world. Like they don't give a shit about little petty stuff like that. I don't think they do.
So then back to this thing, like I interpret that as just like a joke. I interpret it as a girl being like, "Oh, these straight dudes are, like dudes can be shitty, or dudes you date them and then they go do something that is annoying." I assume she's just being sarcastic.
Even if she wasn't, what's wrong wanting your man a little gay?
Now that's crazy. That's crazy.
What you mean?
You want soft meat pushed up against you?
It's the little gay.
Yes.
You want your meat rare. Not rare. It's medium rare. You know what I mean? Just a little blood around the butt. Oh, God.
God.
You don't want just a little blood around the butthole.
Yeah.
We're not mature enough
to have these conversations.
Why the fuck don't y'all listen to us, man?
Okay.
Now, do you like your men a little gay?
No,
Not at all?
not a little bit.
How do you feel about doing Asian face?
About what?
What if she meant gay from like a perspective of?
She didn't say even gay. She just said being a straight male
First
is
she
a
said
red
just
flag.
men. Yeah, she just said men.
Yeah. Being straight male is a red flag.
That is true.
But we are red flags. Even though I don't believe in red flags personally.
Well, give us another by any means necessary, man.
Yeah. Do you want to do watching another man's success?
Yeah, what is that? What's that about?
We're gonna find out together. God damn. Oh, here we go.
And then I look at these dudes, they losing their hair, their skin look great, because they releasing their precious life force. Just you beat your to another man's success. If you watch porn, you could say, yeah, I'm watching this. You watching that too. And you beating your to another man's success. You not f***ing it out.
That's facts.
You not out engaging with the world and meeting shit and going through what it takes. And you not doing that. You not working on yourself. You're cheating. And then guess what? After you do it, you feel bad. Because if you ain't feel bad, why were you sneaking and doing it? Yeah. Talking about you having some me time. I just can't. Like, I just don't watch porn. I've never subscribed to see no woman on. Not one time. If a woman was on OnlyFans, I wouldn't even know.
Damn.
Cause I'm not about to flirt with that spirit of tricking. Like, if it only costs $1, I'm not paying 5 cents to see you naked, bitch. At all.
Taylor got to be here for context. I don't. I'm so confused about that clip. Was he against?
I don't know.
Porn?
I think all of the above.
Yeah.
I got no clue.
No.
Oh, there's the white women clip if you want to watch from the Shannon.
Right.
Oh, we're going to play it back. First of all, there's nothing wrong with me. I wish I would have started beating earlier.
When did you start?
I didn't start until I was like 17.
But was that because of the skin bridge?
No.
Why do you wish you started earlier than 17?
Because I have a theory that it makes your penis bigger. I got about 3 inches. I got about 3 or 4 inches of unaccounted for that's like deep back in this motherfucker. And I'm serious, man. Every man does. Y'all don't listen. See, y'all. This is what you get. You notice when you start to know yourself. Every man out there, I promise you, feel back as far as you can.
There's more dick.
There's more. I'm like, yo, why the fuck won't this shit come out? And I feel like if I would have started younger and doing like the tug exercise younger, that shit would have popped the fuck out.
Do you feel like women should start younger?
Actually, I think women who start masturbating early get them big ass clits that look like when they get older. But that's my point. So no, you shouldn't early unless you want to have a big clit. Men should start masturbating early.
So you have a big clit.
I thought y'all like moose knuckles.
Huh?
What?
You know moose knuckles for the man. You do know that, right? See, you just y'all generation is all
camel toe.
Off. Camel toe is for the women.
Camel toe.
Glorilla fucked y'all up.
Yeah, that's where I got it from. Glow.
Glorilla that up, yo. Glorilla had a transgender ghost rider that fucked y'all up. I'm telling you, like somebody passed to that bar or something, yo. A moose knuckle is a man.
So that's like what the football players be having.
Yeah.
No, they have a cup.
But it just looks like a giant moose knuckle.
No, moose knuckle is like when the seam of your pants splits your balls in half, so they're on both sides.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, of course.
Let me Google. Let me ask ChatGPT, what is a moose knuckle? Hold on. What is a moose knuckle?
Glorilla says she's showing off her moose knuckle.
A moose knuckle is the male equivalent to the female camel toe.
Oh.
Just as a camel toe describes when the shape of a woman's labia are revealed through her clothing, so a moose knuckle reveals a creased, visible outline of a man's genitalia.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So the gray sweatpants swag.
Yeah, but it's got to be like pulled up.
No, it doesn't.
No, it does.
That wasn't.
It's got to be pulled up.
Real moose knuckle.
I want to know why it's called that.
I mean, it kind of looks like it. It's like split like that. And when them toes separate.
Nah, my shit ain't never looked like that. God damn. That actually looks like a vagina.
Yeah.
The little been busted open. Busted open by somebody who had the sense to play with their early on in life. Now they got that goddamn 10-inch long. You know what I'm saying? Meanwhile, we got 3 to 4 inches of unaccounted for penis. Hold on. So Shannon, he clipped this clip.
Yeah.
Okay, let me read the caption. I think you guys are a little intimidated when we date black women. I don't think you can fill our shoes. I feel like you're a little worried. I feel like you can't get to the back of it after us. Hold on, let me read this again. Hold on. I think you guys are a little intimidated when we date black women. I don't think you can fill our shoes. I feel like you're a little worried. I feel like you can't get. Oh, okay. So he's making a joke about. Andrew's making a joke about penis sizes here, and he's saying that white men have big penises. Which is, we know isn't true, which is the joke, right? Am I making this up?
I couldn't tell you.
Oh, okay. Press play.
Yep. I think you guys are a little intimidated when we date black women because I don't think you can fill our shoes. I feel like you're a little worried. I feel like you can't get to the back of it after us.
No, I bet we good.
I do see that a lot. I'd be like, oh, she's off the market. Like whenever I was dating a black girl, I would see black guys be like, oh man, can't do that.
You never dated a black girl.
I haven't?
No.
Okay.
He told you you've never dated a black girl?
I guess I haven't.
You got down with the brown?
Yeah, what do you mean? Of course.
Okay.
Why is this surprising? Well, I'm not pounding you on that. Like it's some accomplishment. Yeah, there's hot girls, and then you try to put your pee-pee in them. Is that shocking to you that a white guy, like, this is so interesting, the world. Is that like shocking to you that there's, that white people will date out of their race? Do you think only white people only date white?
No.
Oh, you thought I was Jewish too, so you assume probably I'm dating like a Jewish person.
Yeah.
Right. Do you feel the pressure though of like, I think at least I see it now that there's like a pressure for black women, black men specifically.
Well, not just black men.
Yeah.
Well-off black men. Athletes, celebs, entertainer, influencers like that.
Yeah.
Regular guy.
And what is the
because
pressure?
They say, well, hey, you wait till you get some money and then you go cross. So.
And why do you think that happens?
Why does it happen? Look, have I dated outside my race? Yes, but I dated people that adored me, that appreciated me.
Yeah.
Not to say at the time they didn't.
Yeah.
I've dated my kids. But I dated
my kids.
women that celebrate men, appreciate men. That's where I'm going to be. I don't look at it because I'm not dating for society. I'm dating for Shannon.
Yeah, I think that's normal. I also think that like if you live in China, you're probably going to date a Chinese person, right? Mm-hmm. And what is the black population of America is like 10%, 12%?
Probably 12%.
So half of that is women.
Yes.
So 6% of America is black women. Mm-hmm. And then the white population in America is, I don't know, like 50% or 60%. I don't know what it is. So
there's 30, 40, 12, like 34. Yeah, probably 40-something%.
Let's just round it.
What the fuck, yo?
So 25% is white women, right? So you have 4 times the amount of white women than black women. So maybe the numbers, maybe it's not just like a black guy gets on and then he dates a white girl.
Right.
Maybe there's just more white women.
Well,
that are out there just by the numbers. Yeah, well, there is. So like, yeah, because I can imagine if I was a black woman and I saw that, I would feel that way. I'd be like, whoa, what the f- going on? Like, why I feel like insulted.
But I don't know if we as black men, if we feel that same way when we see a black woman dating a white guy. I don't think it elicits the same response.
Listen, man, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with interracial relationships, but if you ask me what I like to see black men with black women. What's wrong with that?
Listen,
that's not racist.
I get it. It's not what I personally do. Obviously, my wife's white, so I believe in.
But you've dated a black woman before?
No, but I'm mixed. I believe in mixed relationships, is what I'm trying to say.
You believe in it, or do you just believe in love is love?
As a black man dating a white woman, I feel like I'm a great representation of the power of love and the beauty of a mixed relationship.
I believe in love is love.
I like how you're just like, I'm not even indulgent.
Because I don't know what the fuck you just said. I'm not going to be like Shannon and be like, well, you know.
Stop it. Love you,
I'm not going to act. I love Shannon too, but I'm not going to act like I know what's going on.
Yo,
okay?
Shout out to Shannon. Shannon and Ocho Cinco just put out the fucking goats, both of them just put out an episode and they're basically like, yo, when did we get this sensitive about comedy? And they're talking about like the old roast with like Don Rickles and Dean Martin. They're like, yo, comedians are gonna make jokes. To me, that's ultimate like integrity and bravery, because you could easily cower to the internet criticism, but to come out and actually keep it a buck, like keep it real, that is, so both of them, shout out to y'all, man.
First of all, we don't even know if these people on the internet are real anymore.
Everything's bots, bro.
Everything gotta be, like, we don't know. It's like, whatever. Like, it will really be a mind fuck, because everybody online will say one thing, but then in your real life, it's a totally different story. So who gives a fuck? But I will say, I like seeing black men with black women, but that's just me. But it's also historical context. It's historical context because there's been so many broken, homes, right? And because of, the way slavery broke apart the black family. So I like to see that together. I don't knock it if somebody is dating into a racial relationship. I don't have to anymore. We got Dr. Umar for that.
Exactly. We have somebody to police that.
All I got to do is say Dr. Umar will not approve.
I think the annoying thing is when you see people who like echo those sentiments that you're saying.
First of all, why you making faces at me now?
Because you a goddamn lie.
Why am I a goddamn lie?
Because you be up here protesting.
What did I protest about, Nyla? Tell me.
You protest.
Tell me, Nyla. Tell me.
You be protesting
tell
interracial
me what I protested,
dating.
Nyla.
You protest interracial dating 100%.
Who have I done that to?
What about protesting people who talk about how important it is to take care of the women that are in their race, but we know that they're dating white girls on the side? What about those people? What do we say about those people?
They complete sellouts. They're the worst.
But like, what if they're like every single day, like, oh my God, like, yo, we gotta take care of our queens.
That's
but then they took like a white girl out to dinner with us once.
You can't be
completely embarrassed their queen. What if they did that? Like, what if they tried to embarrass their queen?
Y'all are so shady.
No, but you're right. You can't be pro-black and then sleep white. Seriously.
Well, I think.
Imagine saying protect black women, but you fuck a white woman raw.
Wait.
That sounds fire though.
What, you can't be pro-black and date outside your race?
I think you can be pro-black and date outside your race. I do think that the people that talk about how important it is to date within your race, but then have taken white girls out to dinner with us, it's a little tricky.
I disagree with you, though.
I don't know what to believe.
Dr. Umar has a white.
This is not Dr. Umar.
Dr. Umar cannot do it.
This is not Dr. Umar.
I'm glad you said that, because this is the point I'm trying to make. It depends how pro-black you are.
Okay.
If you're a pro-black person that you say white people are the devil, all that. If you're that level, you can't be with a white person.
What about your kids have been raised to be pro-black, right?
I mean, yeah, black, yeah.
Yeah. So
that
wasn't
Oh, you missed the story.
Yeah, you weren't here.
Well, I told you.
He called ICE on his daughter's boyfriend, and they fucking.
That's not what happened.
They kicked the family out of the country.
That's not what happened.
Stop it, son. You're lying right now.
That's not what happened. Me and Chris.
She had a prom date. He called ICE. He did a ride along.
No, I told you half of the story earlier. Junior prom. You know, the kids go as groups. So one group goes with one group.
Right.
So
this is what his daughter's telling him.
I don't know why he bringing groups up.
In the original group.
That's what his daughter's saying, so it don't look like she got a boyfriend. She knows how crazy her dad is.
She
knows how crazy her dad is, and she was right because her dad kicked that motherfucker out the country.
She doesn't have a boyfriend. But one of the original groups had a guy.
Right.
And that they were going together.
Yeah.
And he ended up having to leave the country because people in his family were being deported.
Do you think, can I just ask this? We're just asking this question, and I'm going to have to go through this in my life, God willing, one day. I have a daughter, right?
Oh, by the time your daughter's 18, there'll be no brown people in this country. If we let Trump keep doing what he's
No, I'm saying like have a boyfriend. So, listen, your daughter is on like the cheer squad.
Yes.
I mean, like, since when in high school?
I don't want to talk about this. Let's go back to the
But no,
cheer girls were the most popular girls.
No, it's not like she goes.
Not in high school.
She doesn't go to public school, so she's on like a competing cheer squad.
Even better, like she must be like the best of the best. So she's super popular. Everybody knows who she is.
But it's not connected to the school. It's different when you're competing.
Literally, when it's competing,
it's a different experience.
Yeah, competing is literally her and all her girls. They travel state to state.
Like everybody's from different schools.
Yes.
Different.
Are there men in the cheer squad too?
I mean, they have been.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they type of men
Schulz,
Doechii like.
What are you?
like we know this. Like I'm just saying. Like what are we talking? You know this. Though.
Hold on.
You know this.
So there's Chinese guys on the cheer squad?
Yes. Absolutely Asians.
Has nobody talked about the eye stuff that these
I never know.
musicians are doing?
I'll get back to you on it next week. I'll have an answer.
Please do.
Yeah.
And I'm not. First of all, I'm not against it. And Charlie XCX does it too. I've seen a bunch of like of some models do it. It's not a Doechii thing.
What if
please
your
don't
daughter
make it about
thinks Doechii's Asian?
Say again.
What if your daughter thinks Doechii's Asian?
I thought it was a dish.
Doechii.
Fried rice.
What? See, that's it. Yes. Doechii fried rice. Yes.
Doechii fried rice. You never had some Doechii fried rice.
That shit hit.
Yo,
That
you wouldn't order some Doechii fried rice.
That shit slaps.
You order some Doechii fried rice?
That Doechii fried rice slaps.
For sure, dude.
You hear me? God damn it.
What are we doing? We're not mature enough to have these discussions.
I gotta let my wife hear this part before
you. I think that's a smart decision.
That's a smart decision.
You gotta let their family hear it if they got Wi-Fi in the country you sent them back to.
Man, shut up. Shut up. Why you said I be hating on interracial relationships? I don't.
Okay. Now you do a little
Why do you think it is? Why do you think
that's what I was going to ask you. So, if your daughter were to end up,
let's leave it on Nyla. Why my daughter gotta be? Why gotta be my daughter? let it be my niece. Why I gotta be the daughter?
All right, your niece.
Yeah, she grown. Like,
all right, let's say Nyla dated a proud
white man. She wouldn't do that.
Yeah, I think you would date a white guy.
I haven't.
But you wouldn't date a white guy? You think?
Wow. Didn't you just tell me I was lying like a mother? See, I only did that to set her up.
Hold on now.
But she calls me a liar. Now I'm a liar.
I knew you had that septum piercing for a reason. That's how you lure into white boys. White boys love a septum piercing. That's how you get white boys out the woods. You put a septum piercing in, and they will come out the woods with their beanies rolled above their ears with a fresh macchiato for you. That is how you catch a white boy.
I'm just saying I haven't dated a white boy.
But you got a crush on one?
No.
There's not one white boy you got a crush on?
No.
Not one white guy you have a crush on?
There's not one white guy I have a crush on.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
young Zac Efron?
Come on.
No.
That was a joke.
What'd you say?
I said young Zac Efron.
Oh, God. See, Chris.
I like how Chris got an age for him, too.
He got it. I'm telling you.
It's not just the person.
He want that 1999 Zac Efron.
George Clooney and ER.
It's like a piece of veal to Chris.
Veal.
That piece of veal with some Doechii fried rice. Give me a piece of that Zac Efron 92 with some Doechii fried rice. God damn, Chris stomach growling right now. And mouth watering.
Use your chopstick.
Listen,
We can't be making these jokes.
Yes, we
Guys,
can.
we're not allowed to make jokes anymore.
We're not mature enough to have this conversation. By the way, here's the thing about the jokes. If I can take them.
That's, nobody is, that's what people don't understand. Nobody is made fun of more than us.
So interesting.
Nobody made fun of more than us.
What you mean?
I mean, like, we're public figures. You're even bigger public figure. Like, we're getting so many fucking jokes constantly, and we're not censoring any jokes about us. If it's a good joke, it's a good joke.
That's how I feel. You know what I'm saying?
And you know what they get upset? They get upset when we lean into it. Like when you do the Morris Chestnut shit, and people are like, you don't
First
look
of all,
like...
that's not a joke.
And this kills them.
Morris Chestnut himself has said, why do we have to do this? Why do y'all just want to play the clip every week? Morris Chestnut himself has said he gets confused for me.
I think Morris Chestnut knows who he looks like.
Yes, and other people know who. It's like a tribe.
No, I think you're going to end up with a white boy.
I rebuke that.
You rebuke it?
Yeah.
It's not like a biblical...
I had to bring it in because I don't even want to put that in there.
So you just called him a white devil.
When you speak things, you manifest it. No. Well, actually, I don't know. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not...
See how it happens?
I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not searching for that.
No, it's not something you search for. It's just going to happen like that.
Somebody...
I don't have no problem with you dating a white person. I'm just saying, don't be the guy or the girl that's out here calling white men the devil and all of this shit like that, and then you sucking the oppressor's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You get the devil's.
Or take him out to dinner with your boys.
Sucking Satan's slong. Like, is that what you want for yourself? I'm just saying. If you calling it, if you gonna get, it just depends what level of pro-black you are.
We just don't like hypocrisy unless we do it.
That's it.
If we're hypocrites, it's okay.
That's it.
But if other people are, it's not okay.
What if they're just able to provide and take care and they do all the things?
If you fall in love, listen.
What if they just love you?
That's right. If you grow to love anybody, I'm gonna be happy.
They make you feel seen. They make you feel safe. They make you feel confident. They make you feel beautiful.
I don't care. Like, I really do. All jokes aside, if you grow to love somebody, I'm happy for you. I don't care what race you are. If that person loves you and that person is holding you down and taking care of you, that's the most important thing. That's it. I really, truly feel that way.
Agreed.
And white guys don't cheat.
I only have a problem with the real pro-black people who didn't go to sleep white. That is whack to me. You cannot be out here, calling white men oppressors and all of this shit and like that, but then you just literally licking the balls. Imagine eating a white man's ass after you said how white people been shitting on black people. Think about that. You say white people shit on black people historically, but then you go lick where the shit comes from.
Niggas fuck on hoes all the time and then talk bad about hoes.
Damn, you said the N-word again. That is 27 times.
Okay. Men will have sex with prostitute and hoes, but then talk bad about prostitute and hoes.
Can I ask you a question? You don't think you're trying to lure a white boy a little bit?
Why look at me?
She just got great style, but you have a little like Tony Hawk Pro Skater thing going, and I feel like white guys are drawn to that. Like, I feel like you're trying to get a white guy a little bit without even realizing it.
I got nothing for you.
All right. But am I wrong though?
I don't know, man. I just want everybody to be happy.
Charla, I'm just a white guy's gonna know how to clean that septum piercing. A black guy might not know how to do that.
God damn.
He's gonna know how to clean it.
But who's gonna know how to clean the white man's smegma?
The white man, hopefully.
Right, the same way I could clean my septum.
Yeah, but
yes, so we take care of ourselves. We like that.
Damn, Nyla's good.
Once again, love who you want. I really don't have a problem with any interracial relationship. Now, do I have a preference? Yes, but that don't mean just because I'm pro something don't mean I'm anti anything. I'm actually pro love more than anything.
Chris, I think you're in an interracial relationship. Have you always dated Asian women, or you dated in your race and then outside of your race, like
everybody?
You just dated everybody.
Come on,
everybody.
Come on,
but you also from New York.
About the people Chris done been around.
Oh, where are you from?
That's true.
That's why Chris done been. Think about Chris done been around. Chris done wrote books for Russell Simmons.
Damn.
Donald Trump.
Damn.
Not true.
Donald Trump.
I thought you wrote for Trump.
You were writing a little bit
for his daughter.
For his daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. Trump world, right? Who else? 50. Come on, man. Chris done had some United Nations pussy.
Have you ever written a...
Chris done been, he like his uterus UNs, baby.
Man.
That's what he do. Like, come on, Chris.
Chris, have you ever written a book for someone who hasn't been arrested?
He wrote with me. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Have you ever?
I'm working on it.
Yeah. Once Chris takes an interest in you, you going to jail. I just want to let you know.
Or you been.
If Chris comes up to you, you have probably done something against the law in your life. I got to be careful, huh?
I would definitely like to say, back on the subject of dating, that
on white men.
No, just on dating in general. That the fact that this is game for you.
Yeah.
But I have definitely been encouraged to date outside of my race because there's only a smaller percentage of, I guess, men equivalent in like caring about the same things you care and like moral and values.
But do you need a man that is on everything that you're on? Like, isn't that the beauty of life? Finding somebody who, you don't want to find your mirror, right? You don't want to find your reflection. You might find somebody that's into totally different things, but what you don't have, he has. And what the interest you don't have, he might have, and then y'all come together and y'all just share experiences and interests and you learn new things.
This is true. I'm cool with that, but I feel like because the percentage of percentage of black men who make over 6 figures who are interested in women, if the number is only like this big, and then with those same credentials on the other side being much larger, the pool of men.
Everybody that makes over 100,000 is gay?
No, I'm just saying the pool of men.
Them gays got money though, bro.
They do,
because men have so many options, they're more likely to just thumb through versus actually caring about. I
said this on Shannon's show. And there is a numbers thing that doesn't work in your guys' favor. Like if white people are 60% of the population or whatever it is, they're like 6 times more white people than there are black people. So just off of the numbers, if you're living in a multicultural city, you're going to bump into 6 times more white guys than you are black dudes. So there's 6 times the chance that you might date a black dude. And then same for a black guy. There's 6 times the chance that you might date a white woman. Like,
but if you're white and you're only basing it on race, I don't know if it's just race. Wouldn't you be basing it on like lifestyle? That's
what I was gonna say. Like, I think age and class actually matter more than race.
I think you're right, but this is the thing that people don't. Age and class matter more about everything. But this is the thing that we don't have the discussion about.
Right.
And I think that this is like, I don't think they want us talking about class. Like the second that Martin Luther King started talking about class, he got shot. Like second anybody starts talking about class, they get killed.
Right.
So, but that is the real discussion.
I'm just saying, my wife is the same age. We were born within a year of each other. We basically came from middle class backgrounds.
Educated.
Right. We have a common language.
Yes.
But when people look at us, oh, you're dating a Chinese woman or a Taiwanese woman, right? Like, that's where everybody goes.
Of course, because one, obviously there's like, we make jokes or whatever, but you're having the real discussion, which is like your shared interests are much more similar.
Boom. We have so much common ground.
100%.
We talk about the same TV shows, the same music.
I think it's kind of what you're getting to. You're like, you're saying,
fresh off the boat. What?
What? Son, he threw one up that I thought you were dunking immediately. He said, we have the same interests, a common language, and I was waiting. I
didn't know what to say. I wanted to say Mandarin, but I didn't know what to say here.
I mean, Chris likes the man part of that.
Mandarin.
God damn. Yo, you know what was one of the most perfect jokes? I posted this shit, but Korean Tell Pro.
It's true.
Crazy.
That was one of the best jokes ever just come up with live on a pod. What was the setup for that? It was
you said that
we'll put the Koreans in China to infiltrate them and cause disruption. Yes. They'd be like, yeah, we'll call it Korean Tell Pro.
Crazy.
I can't believe you guys aren't even reacting now to this.
I don't get it.
COINTELPRO is when they would have the disruptors go in there. And the joke that I was like, he was like, how are we going to take over China? I was like, Korea's our ally, so we're going to send the Koreans in there. They won't even know that they're Korean, and then they'll start disrupting shit. And he goes, we'll call it COINTELPRO.
Yep.
That's unbelievable. I feel like I'm the only one that's appreciating this right now.
They just write themselves, man.
They really, the jokes just write themselves, so how can we not make them?
We got to make them.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to make them. It's what we do. Shoot or shoot. Bro. Shoot or shoot.
But what you were saying, Chris, is what I was saying the same thing. It's like shared interest. Because if you're from New York,
yes,
you might not like a white girl from South Dakota.
Yeah, we might not get along.
You married a white woman from Manhattan.
Well, she's from Santa Barbara, but her formative years in Manhattan, she moved here. She was 14 years old.
But to me, New York and California have a lot more in common than the Midwest would, or even the down south would. You know what I mean?
You see this all the time with religions. Like a lot of people meet at church, right?
Yes.
And a lot of meet in the synagogue. And like they might be from different parts of the world, but the religion is that thing that unites them. So, do you go to church now?
Currently, no.
But are you a religious person? Like, so you might value that, right? You want somebody that has similar values and beliefs as you, and then that kind of shared interest might be the best possible partner for you.
I'll keep y'all posted.
I mean, if you want to go back to dating black guys, I know guys, and I'll definitely introduce you, but I don't want to move you off of your white journey.
I'm not on no white journey. I'm actually in a minding my business journey.
Okay, that's good. We respect that. Man. We don't want to pressure you to do anything that you don't want to do.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Charlamagne?
Oh, God.
What happened?
I'll just show you that. Don't say nothing. This is Oh, God, man. Come on, man.
Let me see.
God damn, bro. God damn.
What is it?
Nah, they grow up too fast, bro.
Oh, her dress is popping? Oh, let me see.
She's adorable.
You gotta come over here. I don't want to.
Also,
God damn.
She looks so much like Jess, too.
I know, man.
Oh,
what
that's
the
crazy.
Fuck?
Oh, my God. She looks so good.
So beautiful.
Let me hold the phone. I gotta see this.
I want to go home. I want to go home.
Hold on, man.
Oh.
Don't act up.
No, I'm just typing. Let me call Lice again. Send him. That's what I just did. Let me call Ice again, man. Fuck all this shit. Let's pay some bills, man.
All right, guys, let's take a break for a second. Now, listen, how many times have you said, I'll start my business next week, or I'll wait until things settle down? The truth is, there'll never be a perfect time to start your business. The best time to start is right now. You're going to go through so many different changes. Even the idea you start with is not going to be the idea you end with, okay? Taylor Brands is here to simplify that process. Taylor is a complete business builder with everything you need to guarantee your business is set up for success from day one. You can register your LLC within minutes to keep your personal assets separate from your business. Real quick, why is that important? God forbid anything happens with your business. If you have an LLC, they can only come after the LLC. They can't come after you personally. That means they're not going to come after your house, any other assets you have. You have to protect yourself, okay? Also, when you have an LLC, you can start writing things off as business expenses. It's really valuable for you. You get to save tons of money with all the money that you're investing in that business. So you'll get access to legal documents, licenses and permits, invoices and bookkeeping, and even a business coaching program that will guide you through your first 100 days of business. You also get a free personalized business plan, branding tools, and so much more. I cannot tell you how much money you end up saving. And with that money you save, you reinvest that into your business. You help that business grow. The beginning parts of your business journey are obviously the most difficult, and you need every bit of capital you possibly can get. And of course, we're going to hook you up with a 35% discount. All you have to do is go to taylorbrands.com/idiots to get started. That is TAILORBRANDS.com/idiots. Don't be a statistic. Set your business up right from day one. Now, let's get back to the show.
Church announcement, Doechii. What you got?
Life, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, man. Thank you guys so much for making it the biggest comedy special in the world. I'm incredibly blessed, grateful. Thank you everybody who let me on their pod and let me chop it up these last few weeks. It was really awesome, exciting, and great to see how other people do their things. A bunch more pods coming out, so thank you guys for indulging. And thank you so much for the people who shared their stories of going through these, fertility journeys.
That's what I was going to ask you. How's that community?
I mean, just thousands of emails that I get emotional reading, people who had it way more difficult than me, waiting 11 years to finally have a kid. There's this huge community of people out there that have, thought they might not ever be able to, and then finally get that opportunity to have a child and have a family, and they're so fucking grateful. And I think they got to watch this special that brings light to this brutal experience that they had, and I think it was kind of cathartic for them. They got to go, okay, we can put that part of our life past us, and we can just kind of laugh at the ridiculous of it now that we know that we have this beautiful child. And please keep sending me those stories, man, because it lights up my day every single time somebody tells me that.
I had people telling me to tell you thank you because, they went through the process and it didn't work out for them, but they still were able to laugh at the process that you went through, even though they didn't have the happy ending, but
It just makes them feel more normal. I think, especially the fact that it was my fault, I think a lot of guys are just really embarrassed and they don't want to share that experience. And Yeah, it's like I also want to say like there's crazy new technological advancements. I think there's this company that found a way to like create eggs, like women's eggs from skin cells. So they don't even need to do the thing where they induce the egg creation. They can develop those eggs from a skin cell that you have.
Imagine being a little skin baby. Remember back in the day when who was the comedian? Robin Harris. When Robin Harris said, "You little test tube, baby."
Yeah.
Why don't you go home and watch The Late Show, Pops? Why don't you just go home? Little test tube, baby.
Now you're a little skin baby?
Be a skin baby. Anyway, any way you could have kids, like put them into the world and just, I mean,
how the fuck you create eggs from skin?
Bro, I don't know how they do anything these days.
Hey, can we do that for the grocery stores so they'd be cheaper?
Bro, yeah, create some blueberries from skin. Create some eggs from skin.
Damn.
Yeah, create everything you possibly can.
But that's what I was talking about last week. Well, first of all, my church announcement is 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival happening Saturday, April 26th.
Let's go.
In Atlanta, Georgia at Pullman Yards, man. I want to thank everybody who subscribes to a podcast on the Black Effect iHeartRadio Podcast Network. Just found out today that we hit 1 billion downloads on the network. So,
holy shit.
Yeah, man. So, thank you to everybody. I don't care what podcast you subscribe to on Black Effect. Just thank you. And we'll be celebrating Saturday, April 26th, 3rd annual Black Effect Podcast Festival happening in Atlanta, Georgia. You can go to blackeffect.com/podcast festival to get your tickets. The Trap Nerds podcast will be there for all the gamers. Good Moms, Bad Choices will be there for all the moms who still want to have a life too. Carrie Champion will be there doing her Naked podcast. R&B Money, Tank and Jay Valentine, they'll be there doing their podcast live. And Sarah Jakes Roberts will be doing their podcast as well. We about to announce one more podcast hopefully soon. So maybe next week I'll have another announcement for y'all. But, we got the Black Effect Marketplace, the food trucks, the Picture Podcast, a panel with Nissan. So, yeah, go get your tickets, blackeffect.com/podcast festival Atlanta.
And one more shout out. Ryan Davis, who's a hilarious comedian.
Ooh, my guy.
He put out a special. I think that you can get it on his Patreon right now. My bad, Ryan, if I'm not explaining this perfectly, but he went through a similar experience to a lot of us where like he shot his own special, spent like tons of money making it beautiful. He's hilarious. And, the networks didn't want it for whatever reason, their mistake, because Ryan is hilarious. And I think now he's putting it out on, it might be his Patreon. You can go check him out on Instagram, but he put out a bunch of clips. The clips went absolutely crazy. And it's beautiful to see comics betting on themselves. And more importantly, the people that like good comedy coming out and supporting that. So go check out Ryan Davis, man. He's fucking hilarious.
Salute to Ryan. I was talking to Ryan this week, but I haven't gotten to see the clips yet, but I want to check it out. But salute to Ryan. Ryan, I fuck with Ryan. I fuck with Ryan just because I think he's funny and he's a good dude. He's from the Carolinas.
He is from the Carolinas.
I've also seen Ryan not fold.
Nope.
Meaning like I've seen Ryan. I've seen him in interviews recently, and I've seen a couple people try to bait him over you and the Kendrick stuff, and I watch people like that because I've seen Ryan. Ryan has given you a lot of credit before. Remember what I told you?
Yeah.
You watch the people who take the opportunity to shit on you or say something negative in this moment because they always was hating. Ryan didn't fold at all.
Yeah,
Ryan stood on the comedy like, no, I reserve the right to let comedians be comedians, blah blah blah, and stuff like that tells me a lot about a person. Like I'm the type of person I watch how. I judge a person's character by how they treat people that can't do nothing for them. And I watch things like that. Let me see when you got the opportunity to possibly say something negative, how you...
Because he could probably get way more views dunking on me, but he
stood up for comedy.
He's a real comedian. That's the thing. He's a real comedian.
That's right.
And so shout out to him. I hope that shit blows the fuck up. And I hope that the next time you sell your specialist for 10 times more, bro.
Word. Shout out to Ryan Davis. Damn, I wanted to talk about something else. Oh, the egg shit. Remember I was talking about the egg shit last week?
Yeah.
And I was saying, why are they so focused on the eggs? And the reason I was saying why are they so focused on the eggs is because Donald Trump said he won the election with one word, groceries. So you should be focusing on the cost of all goods. Now, what happened this week? This week, Republicans, their talking point was the price of eggs are down. But the price of other shit is up.
Damn.
Because of the tariffs, the stock market to the toilet, all of these other different things that are going to fuck up people economically. People are losing money in their 401ks and their retirement plans, Social Security, all of this type of shit. So it's just like, but they can say, and I watched it on CNN, Fox, but the price of eggs are down. Why y'all that's why you shouldn't just focus on One thing.
Yeah, but one thing is so much more digestible. You were right, but like the messaging of one thing is so much more digestible, you know?
Yeah.
I think you are right. I was talking about, and I'm sorry if for not giving you credit for this because I forget exactly which conversation it was, but like it might have been Sagar. I forget exactly. So my bad, Sagar, if it wasn't you, but I think it was Sagar. But we were talking about like, how do you get all Americans invested in the success of America, right? Because I think what kind of happened is like since the global financial crisis, right? People who had some money have made a lot of money in the stock market since then. They got to take out loans at 0%. They dumped it in the market. The market's up 20% or whatever the fuck it is. And they got way richer and everybody else didn't. And I feel like a lot of Americans feel left behind. Like the train just ran away without them. And it would be really cool if you want people to really love America, if they are invested in the success of America, i.e., like, I don't know if this is a realistic strategy, but if you put 10 grand in every single American's S&P 500 account from the day they were born, they couldn't touch it until they're 22. They can't take out loans against it or anything. But knowing for 22 years of your life that the success of America is your financial success.
That's right.
All of a sudden you'd see probably Americans rooting for CEOs instead of villainizing them and feeling squeezed out by them. You'd see Americans rooting for American economic success because you're like, hey, the better America does as a country, the more flexibility I'm going to have when I finish college and I'm 22, or I could pay off some loans, or I could start a business, or I could go to trade school, whatever it is. Like, I think that Democrats, Republicans, whoever it is, the strategy they need to think of right now is how to get as many Americans, working class and poor Americans specifically, invested in the success of America.
Upward mobility. What you just explained is why Joe Biden could never get anybody to believe he made the economy better. Because when you out here talking about the GDP is high and the stock market is high, what about the motherfuckers who ain't got no stocks? I don't give a flying fuck.
This is great. This is
Vivek.
It was Vivek. Sorry. So Vivek brought it up. So shout out Vivek. My bad for getting the Indians mixed up. So there's
understandable.
Thank you. So there's this thing where it's like Biden and the Democrats go, the economy was the best ever during Biden. It's like, but for whom?
For who?
If you say the stock market is good, yeah, for like the top 10% that even invest in the stock market. I don't think I bought a stock until I was 35 years old.
I didn't get one until COVID. Because you know why? Because my financial advisor was like, look, let me tell you something.
This shit going to...
This is when rich people get richer. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you're
I
right.
didn't get an S&P 500 until 2020.
So it's like, I think there's an education process, like teaching people what compound interest is. And I'm saying this to you guys as someone who is financially illiterate and knew nothing about this until 35. I just had money in a bank account making no money because I thought that's what you're supposed to do is just save it. I would love if young Americans got invested in the success of America, and I think you would see patriotism go through the roof.
But that's why people hate the billionaires. That's why they hate the CEOs, because of the way capitalism is constructed in this country. The rich keep getting richer, and the poor keep getting poorer, and the middle class don't even goddamn exist
They
no
don't
more.
even know what the fuck is going on.
One or the other.
So
one or the other.
What is the best way to get people to embrace and love capitalism? Make sure that they bear the fruit of capitalism. Like, if I'm somebody who is poor and I know that I'm invested in the success of this country, you know what I'm going to be excited about? The capitalist model that's making me more money on the stock market every single day I look at it. So
how are haters bred, Schulz?
How is it?
How are haters bred?
How?
Haters are bred when they see a system or something working for a select group of people and they're on the outside looking in. It's not that they actually hate what's going on in there. They hate that they're not in there.
I mean,
so why don't you try to bring people together?
Like this guy, the guy who was trying to give everybody $1,000, Andrew Yang.
Universal basic income.
It was, sorry?
Charlie, can you speak to your mic?
Oh yeah. So it's like he didn't have a bad idea, but like just giving somebody a stimulus check or just giving somebody $1,000, it sounds good. And when people are struggling, they need that. But what is going to actually change the mentality of Americans and the financial success and acumen of Americans is if you get them invested early on in the success of America.
Well, that's also what we now look back and credit a large part of the stock market crash of 1929 to, which is a lot of people who didn't have much money, who didn't have a lot of knowledge about stocks or how they operated, felt they should be participating in this process, and they all rushed into the market for the first time.
I don't know if the stock market is crashed by everybody investing in it,
but that's generally considered one of the main factors behind it, which is way too many people got in. They were over their head. They didn't have enough savings.
Okay,
they weren't able to withstand the volatility of it.
So just before we scare people, and I think this is important to distinguish, what you're talking about is people that are over leveraged to invest in the stock market. Same thing with the housing crisis.
Right.
People who are over leveraged, meaning they're not putting money that they have into the market. They're taking out loans and putting debt into the market. And then when the market crashes, they can't afford their life without it. Same thing with the houses. They were buying homes that they could not afford, just hoping the price would go up. What I'm saying is, you're putting money, or the government is putting money in at 1 year old that is not money that you have access to until you're 22. So you don't have to worry about you handling the volatility of the market.
I'm not trying to be cute, but like, isn't that like what bonds are?
Well, so this is where you get it wrong. This is, I did the all-in pod, and we were talking about this. So in an effort to...
People used to give bonds when a child was born. That was a very common thing. You would get a bond.
So this is actually, I'm glad you brought this up. Right. So what does a bond more or less pay every year? At what percent?
Right now, they're like at 4.
So 4% historically. That's what the American treasuries have paid.
Right.
What is the S&P throughout the last 100 years given?
Actually, I have no idea.
7.5%.
Okay.
Why? So they brought it up a very interesting thing. Instead of, basically the reason why the bond market... the reason why the bond market got so like flooded is because we actually stopped tariffing other countries, and in a way to raise money for the government to spend, we put that burden on Americans. We said, hey, Americans, buy up all of our bonds so that the government has money, right?
Right.
What you could do is you could take Social Security, right, which is going to run out in 20 years. And this guy, David Friedberg, was breaking this down. He's like, instead of investing that in bonds, which is what they do with Social Security, and getting 4% on it, if you invested that in the S&P, wait for it, which is getting on average 7.5%. Now, I know what you're saying. What if the stock market tanks? The American economy or the American government would have to subsidize that. But what are we already doing? Yeah. Subsidizing
but there's a floor. There's no floor if you put it.
What do you think Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac is? It is a subsidization system for real estate. So in other words, the only way you can get a 30-year loan is if Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac or whatever those companies come in and they basically soft back the loans. They go, hey, we're the government.
Which is what got us in trouble in 2008.
And keep going. So what they do is they actually, their intentions are good. They're like, we want to protect these loans for the American people. The problem is, they protected the loans and inflated the price of housing to the point where people who are middle class could no longer buy into the housing market, which is supposed to be the most secure market in American history. If you didn't have them inflating the prices, those prices of houses would naturally fluctuate and be much lower, and you wouldn't have people spending $50 million for a 0.4 acres of land.
That's also a lot of foreign money that they're trying to stash in America.
100%. I'm not saying it's a perfect system, but if you run the numbers and run the model, which this guy did, it seems like a much better way to protect Americans when you're already going to subsidize. So if you're going to subsidize it already, why not subsidize it less when you have this thing that's been gaining 7.5% for years?
So then what happens in a week like this week when the market crashes and Social Security is in the market?
Chris, what happens in a week like this? What happens in a week like the financial crisis when all the banks said, hey, you got to bail us out? We know that they're going to be bailed out. Why not bail out at 2.5% less? We know the government's coming in to bail out these bankers, right? Why not bail out the American people instead of the bankers?
I just don't know the scale of Social Security versus the banks. That would be what concerns me. Like, is the numbers so much bigger with Social Security?
That's a good point.
This is where I run out of information, and I'm not saying that you're wrong.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm trying to operate in good faith with this, but at least to me, the way it was being described, and I don't think these guys were talking about it in a way to like steal money from the poor. These guys on All In podcast, they all grew up poor. Some of them on welfare.
I'm not mad at it because at least you're trying to do something.
Yo, clearly this thing isn't working.
Something for the clearly what we've built in America has not worked for everybody.
This is the thing that I think a lot of people don't get. Like when people come from a situation that like Charlamagne came from, obviously I didn't grow up poor, right? But I wasn't some rich kid. So when we're able to like get some wealth, we don't have
this. By the grace of God.
By the grace of
God.
Good
luck.
Pure luck.
You know what I'm saying?
But our sentiment, our sentiment is not, we want to keep it all for ourselves and not let other people. We want to create systems where other people that are in similar circumstances as us can also rise up.
That's right.
And once we get information that we feel like could maybe benefit those people, we got to disseminate that information. Like we got to at least start those discussions, and then we should run models on it. And then maybe you're right. Maybe it doesn't work, and maybe it isn't as safe. But we got to do something, man.
What we're doing is better than what we currently got going on now.
Maybe.
But let's have.
I think what Schulz is saying, or whoever, all in, you at least you're giving people a chance from birth. You're not just telling
what's $1,000 going to really do in the market?
He said 10,000.
Well, you could do 10,000, but this is a perfect example. Do you know what $10,000 with compound interest is over 20 years?
My dad gave me this whole speech when I graduated from college. I think I got $5,000, and he was like, "Put it in a Roth IRA, forget about it. It's going to be worth so much money by the time you're in your 40s."
Yeah.
And I was like, well, but suppose the market fluctuates and the funds go down, and maybe it won't be worth anything. He's like, historically,
it does.
Fluctuations, it always works out. I'm 30 years past college right now. Guess how much that Roth IRA is worth? I haven't touched it.
How much?
Zero?
Zero.
I don't believe that.
But also,
Bro.
But also, the reason you invest in a Roth IRA is because you can put $7,500 in, and then it'll take the actual accumulation of that, put it back in for itself, and then it's untaxed
during that whole time. I don't believe what you just said.
I'm telling you.
I will say that I think I don't know what's safer.
My kids.
I think an S&P 500 might be safer than the Roth IRA. I'm not sure.
You eat your taxes on the S&P 500.
That's the thing. But here's the other thing that's really important to understand. The fact that your dad even said that is like, that's middle class, upper middle class privilege. Most people who don't have faith in that kind of system, what they do is they put it in treasuries or bonds, which are at a lower rate than the S&P.
Which is what I do. I put it in bonds.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that that's bad. I have treasuries. You should diversify for sure. But what I'm trying to say is that, do you know how many billion-dollar companies there are in the world? There are 20,000 billion-dollar companies in the world. The S&P 500 is the top 500 of those. If you can't bet on that, I don't know what we're fucking betting on.
During COVID, my financial advisor, Salute to Humble. Humble was like, look, this is when rich people get rich. He said, I want you to put this amount of money in the S&P 500. I only put half. I was scared to put what he told me to put in there, but I only put half. But I will say that year, that half damn near quadrupled. Now, did it drop back down? Yes. And that's when I stopped checking this shit.
But this is a long game. You can't check it.
It's 30, but he said 30 years. He said put it in, and that's for your kids 30 years from now.
I don't believe that you put money in.
I'm actually looking right now to make sure I got the fund right.
Yeah, I think
whatever it was, it might have been Fidelity. I'm actually going through my email right now.
Well, whatever they are, they're usually just, if it is across those 500
that
companies.
Shit, Chris? That should have driven you crazy.
No, I'm saying the one that I put in after I graduated is definitely ran out of money. I had to close it because it went to zero. I'm not
so in order for
trying
that,
to double check what it was.
You just happened to invest in the companies that all went bankrupt? I don't believe that. I think
that's wild.
I think you're putting out I think you should be careful what you're saying right now, because it could induce further fear for people to understand what the market is. And that's the most terrifying thing for financially illiterate people like myself, is everything's going to go away. So I think you've got to be very careful with
I'm
what you're explaining.
looking through my emails right now to see what it was.
Before we do some asking niggas, listen to this clip, because you made me think of this clip when you said what you said.
Oh, and then I got to run.
All right, this is Anthony Mackie.
I've been in the business 24 years, right? And I've seen people go from nothing to the biggest stars in the world. I've seen people go from one role to winning Academy Awards and doing all this shit. And what I realized yesterday thinking about it, we're lying to our kids, dog. And I think that's a big problem in our community. We tell our kids that they can, and this is fresh on my heart, like I literally just came to this conclusion last night. We tell our kids if they do right and they make the good grades and they go to the programs and they will become successful. If you work hard enough, your work will be paid off. And that's not true. Success is given. It's not earned. Because you can be the most brilliant. If one person don't tap you, each one of y'all. There were people who could hit harder, who could catch better, who could run faster. But somebody said, you're the one. And the other 50 behind you fell off. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And because of that, I don't know what that emotion or that feeling is. is the scary thing. Because I went to all the programs. I've done Broadway. I've done off-Broadway. I've been in the business 24 years. I've been in 2 Academy Award films. I've done independent films. I've done major motion pictures. Now I'm Captain America. So now what? What you think?
I think it's I think that sentiment makes a lot of people who are struggling feel good. It's like an opiate. You know, it like satisfies the pain. And I think a lot of people will be like, yes, queen, talk that shit, etc.
That was a man. It's Anthony Mackie.
But the reality is that I don't know if that's the right, I don't know if that's the right attitude to give people the hope to work their ass off and hopefully succeed. Working your ass off doesn't guarantee you anything. Like we said earlier, we got fucking lucky, dude. But what I do know is working your ass off will increase the chances that somebody might tap you and want to work with you and want to give the opportunity. And I wish that he included that in there, because there is nothing that will guarantee you will have no success like not doing anything.
Yeah, it's not an either or.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Success is earned and success is given, because you can have a talent and, you know, you work hard and you bust your ass because you're constantly putting yourself in a position so that person who can give you an opportunity recognizes the hard work and your talent.
I want to work with hard workers.
I've been given a million opportunities from a million different people throughout my whole life. Like somebody had to give me the opportunity to be an intern back in the day.
But now you give opportunities, and who do you give them to? You don't give them to the people going, "Oh, you can't do it unless somebody puts me on." Nah.
Well, Nala thinks I just like to save hoes, but I give them I give them the hard working.
He definitely does.
Hoes work hard.
I like to give them, but I think it's a combination of both is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think he's wrong that like getting an opportunity can change everything, but working hard will put you in the position to get opportunities. Like that Chris Rock joke where he's like, I never stopped when I saw somebody who was pulled over on the side of the road and their car wasn't working. But the second you see someone pushing their own car, you stop and you want to push that car with them. Be the person pushing their own car and people will notice. They will I mean, look at us talking about Ryan Davis.
Yeah.
My man put his own money up. He's absolutely hilarious. Right. And people will recognize that. And then obviously, you know, we want to support, you know, somebody that we really think is great at the thing, but you got to work hard to be great at the thing.
I talk about it in one of my books. It might be the new one, Get Honest or Die Lying. I can't remember. But, you know, I talk about how people will walk up on you and be like, yo, put me on, put me on. What does that even mean? Yeah. What do you do? Like, what is the talent? Like, what is the skill set that you have? Like, you know, what is it that I would even be putting you on to do? Like, I can't just wave a magic wand and say, yeah, you're on.
It's kind of entitled to walk up to someone and say, put me on. There was some kid that was like, debate me. I was like, all right, well, why don't you work maybe like 10, 12 years of your life to build up a platform that people actually listen to. And then once you have something that people actually listen to and value, then maybe we can have a conversation. But the entitlement to have built absolutely nothing in your life and to be like demanding that like, I put you on this thing that we worked our asses off to create and got really lucky, don't get me wrong, it's a little too entitled.
You got to earn that place here.
I don't feel like I deserve shit. I imagine you don't feel like you don't deserve shit. And that's probably why we work hard, because we don't feel like it's deserved.
That's what imposter syndrome is. Like, you never quite feel where I'm just getting to the place of worthy. Yeah. For years, I never felt worthy. Ever. Yeah. Let's do some math. Let's do like 3 and get the fuck out of here, man. DTXAM009 says, no, I don't want to do that one. I'm sorry, DTXM09, but the real Eddie 1E says, what's the most embarrassing thing you've seen happen to someone else?
Go. I know Charla got a million stories for this. Go.
No, I mean, I do have a million of them, but most recently, Donnell Rawlings, man. Donnell Rawlings, when he was...
Donnell, I just want to let you know I love you. And you're one of the funniest motherfuckers on the planet.
Donnell's been called every time Donnell's called me for the last 2 weeks, and I had the shows messed up at first. I'm like, kill Tony. Kill Tony. So he kept hanging up, because I think he really thought he was calling Kill Tony. And so once we had a discussion, I'm like, oh shit, it wasn't Kill Tony. So he called me back, Jeffrey Ross.
Roast battle.
Roast battle. Man, do yourselves a favor and go watch Donnell Rawlings on Roast Battle. The thing that makes me laugh, first of all, I love seeing people bomb, but I'd rather see them bomb on stage as a stand-up. But what I realized, it's not the bombing that I like seeing people fight for their life. If you want to see somebody fight for their life, go watch Donnell Rawlings on Roast Battle, man. He was a judge, and he was there with Teddy Swims, and he loves Teddy Swims, which makes it all the more better because he got embarrassed in front of somebody he loves. But when the crowd started chanting, "You ain't Chappelle," I was watching you. I was chanting, "You ain't Chappelle." You ain't Chappelle. You ain't Chappelle. And then Donnell grabs the microphone and he walks out into the crowd and he goes, "I made the Chappelle Show."
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
That's exactly what he said.
I think he said, "I'm one of the reasons
why." No. That's what he meant. That's not what he said. I know what he said. And I told him this.
Yeah.
I said, "Donnell, I knew what you meant to say.
But it's not what he said."
But the narrative of what you said is way better. When people have been coming to me in the street saying, "Can you believe this motherfucker said he made Chappelle?" I'll be like, "Can you believe this motherfucker said he made Chappelle?" Oh my God. It was amazing. Donnell Rawlings turns to Jeffrey Ross and goes, "I knew you when you had hair, son." Jeffrey Ross, quick as a whip, goes, "I knew you when you had jokes."
No.
Oh, got him.
No.
Got him. So yes, that's not the most embarrassing thing I've seen happen to a person, but it's the most recently embarrassing thing I've seen happen to a person, and I loved every minute of it. Every minute. Cute Sharpe wants, what's yours? Do you have one?
Wait, what, the most embarrassing story?
Yes.
No, nothing's beating that. Go.
Cute Sharpe said, "Would you rather drink a shot glass of your own, 20 ounces of your own?"
20 ounces of my own.
Yeah, pee easy.
Without a doubt.
Easy. There's health benefits.
Put that
to
shit on
drinking
ice.
Pee. Drinking your own, you just gay and scared to drink somebody else's. Officially _ we can end with this. And the Playboy Dakara says, "When are we sliding on Logan Paul after what happened on Monday Night Raw?"
I need my justice, bro. I need my justice. I'm ambushed. I'm out there in front of my people. I'm in Madison Square Garden. You know, he sets me up in a situation where, like, I got to lie to my people. I'm not going to lie to my people. Right?
About Cleveland?
No, he's like, "Yo, tell me why you're here. Tell me why everybody's here." And I'm like, "We're here to watch CM Punk and Seth Rollins. That's why the fuck we're here."
I'm gonna tell you something, boy. People from Cleveland really take Cleveland serious. You cannot play with Cleveland. I remember one time Machine Gun Kelly ran up on me.
Oh yeah.
Because I said something about Cleveland. I said something about Cleveland on a TV show. I don't remember
It
the
was
fuck
your
I said.
show. It was not like something to watch. It was something to wash. And you were like, "The city of Cleveland. We need to wash the whole city," or something like that.
I just remember. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
But yeah, Logan, I need some justice, man. I need my paper. I need my get back. You know. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens. Watch out, Logan. Logan, you better watch out.
That was a terrible sell. You sold it way better on WWE.
Right,
That
hold on,
didn't sound realistic.
Let me
You better watch out, Logan. Watch out. He's from the West Village. What the fuck? You from fucking Hell's Kitchen, bro. The home of Dad.
All right. To the white dudes that coon and the white dudes being groomed, I'm gonna slide on both of them. How about that?
Okay, I
you like that? That was fire.
As always, if you listen to this podcast, you think we're smart, you think we're intelligent, you think we're brilliant, you're absolutely right. But if you listen to this podcast and think we're just a couple idiots who don't know shit, you're right too. It's the Brilliant Idiots Podcast. Thank you for listening.
Peace.